Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from the MLG offices here in New York City. You're watching our coverage of WCS America. Currently, Nick is playing through the tournament. How you feeling, Nick?
I'm feeling okay. You know, the last game was a big misread on my part.
Right.
And there was miscontrol in the opening, too. I should have, you know, when he first came in, I chrono boosted a stock route. I should have force fielded his stock route. I could have gotten a Zealot kill and not lost a sentry.
Yeah.
Things would have been cleaner there. I think I actually wasn't insanely impressed with his moves. He was playing a little bit overly aggressive.
Right.
And I think that's how Koreans play when they play non-Koreans.
Sure.
They're like, I'm just going to go attack him, and because I'm better, I'll win. And that puts the non-Korean, myself, to the task where if we play well, we'll be ahead.
Sure.
But unfortunately, I didn't play well enough. I fell behind, and then, of course, second test, I failed and lost.
So I just realized
Yes.
I have to use the bathroom. Do
All
you mind if I go use the bathroom?
Do it, man.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I got it. All right, guys, this is game 2 of the round of 32 of WCS America Season 3 Challenger League qualifiers. I'm down 0-1 to Tassadar from Team Neo Hosio. Of course, he's a fairly skilled individual, but I don't feel terrible. I feel like, I mean, game 1 I felt pretty terrible about my misread there, and it wasn't a misread, actually. Like, I knew exactly what it was doing. It's my brain shut off there and told me to do exactly the opposite of what I should be doing. He's definitely beatable, especially for me. PvP is typically my best matchup. As long as I get it back into gear, I should be okay. The hard part is, though, surviving. Surviving the shenanigans. A lot of the Koreans, like I mentioned just previously, especially against non-Korean players, they just play super aggressive, and they assume that the non-Korean will screw up. So the test is on me to not make that mistake that gives him that early win. And if I can survive that, I often will be in enough of an advantageous position to where I can go ahead and close out the win. In PvP, I'm pretty good where I'm ahead. Like, if I'm a little bit ahead, I usually in PvP I have a very good understanding of exactly how to take that small advantage and turn it into a game-ending advantage. So that's my goal here. Just going to be very defensive, reactionary, and try not to screw up. And we'll see if I can make that happen. So I'm scouting kind of early because I think he 4-gates a lot. Tassadar, or at least he used to. So there's a non-negligible chance he's going to try to 4-gate me. So that's why I'm being really on top of scouting. Just want to make sure that that's not happening. Okay, double gas opening, so nothing too crazy is going on here. We might see exactly the same opening we did last game, in fact. It's definitely a possibility. I want to go find his second pylon, excuse me. If I can find his second pylon, that'll tell me exactly. Okay, it's back there. That's good to know. Make sure there's not any like crazy proxy Stargate shenanigans or anything too otherworldly going on. Of course, the next step is to make sure I don't lose my scouting probe to his Zealot that's popping out there. There's his third pylon. Next is to check out his chrono boost allocation. I'm fine to keep on chrono boosting probes. I'm absolutely happy doing that. I'm a probe fiend. He's chrono boosting his gateway, so he's gonna do that same. And okay, he's doing the exact same push he did last time. So from here on out, I should get the same unit composition. I should chrono boost his stalker a little bit more aggressively. I should hide this and because it's chrono boosting, I can sneak in earlier than I did last time. I can sneak in about that 5-10 mark. And really get some great scout information. Because he's chrono boosting his units, so he'll be out of the base a little bit faster than you might otherwise anticipate. And we're going to chrono boost this gateway. I'm actually pretty happy about the read I got so far on what exactly is going on. Don't need 2 probes to build 1 building. Alright, so we're going to try to sneak back in here and see if he's doing the same building. He tried to recall there because I got the second chrono boost off. He wasn't able to quite get that recall off. I wasn't able to get the scout out that I wanted to, but this time my goal is to be a little bit more on top of my my Phoenix control coming into here. That's gonna be my goal. And again, we're gonna go and get that robo over here. This time, of course, we're going to go and get a third gateway. And again, I was a little bit slow in pulling the Phoenix back, which is unfortunate. But it's not the end of the world. We're going to try to sneak a scout in around the edge of the map. And we're going to stick with very heavy sentry. We're going to spend all my gas on the Phoenixes, ideally. All right, so he's doing pressure again. He's definitely doing pressure. So we're going to go very heavy in Zealots, because when Phoenix mirrors, you want to... Wow, I think he just has too much for me. He just, you know what? I should have cut probes there and I didn't. Because he did the exact same build. I didn't cut probes to get more gateway units out, so. I should have cut probes. I should have gone a sentry out to hit a force field on the ramp. But basically I just lost to the same exact build twice in a row. A massive probe cut. Phoenix gateway all in. So there we go. That time I had a better reader in his build, but I still didn't react correctly. Like I said, I didn't have quite a solid reader in his probe count, and I didn't like if you take a look at the graphs, you can see if you look at the resource collection rate right here, that's the gap. So I continued to build probes, anticipating that when he saw it and expand, he would back off, but he did that green versus non-green thing, like I said again. Where it's, in theory, if I cut probes 3 probes earlier, had one more sentry, one more zealot at the ramp, when he tries to attack, he wouldn't break me, and then I'd be ahead, because I have a better economy, I've got more units, he'd be in trouble. But he did a thing where he's like, well, I assume he's bad, so let's attack, and fortunately for him, I was bad. Made about 3 too many probes there. I could have had economic superiority and defense, but a little bit sloppy there. Not knowing he would, it was kind of a miscount. I should have replaced that first sentry, is what I should have done. I kind of thought he DT rushed that game, so I got the robo blind again, and I should have been more confident that he wouldn't do that. But it was mostly just getting too many probes, delaying the gateway production. So he had a few more gateway units than me. And of course, using the real Phoenix's scout, if I remade the sentry, I could have relied on hallucinated Phoenix and it would have been a little bit safer as well. Just a lot of little tiny differences. But those tiny differences make a difference in a guy who hasn't played in a couple weeks versus, you know, a guy who plays for a pro Korean team he plays all day. So, really well done by him. Great news though. Now we're going to see some awesome games between, you know, the legitimate top players here. I'm going to see who I can find who's coming up next. Maybe we'll get in Tassadar. Tassadar's next game probably won't be for a while, because I think the way the schedule works, they don't start that round for quite a long time. For some reason, they don't let people kind of go with their own schedule. But we got TT1. We got there's a lot of good Koreans in here as well. I'll try to find next game to start up. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.